So in the past 12 months, I made over $350,000 selling one digital product. I had days where I made over $6,000 in a single day, and I had months where I made $60,000 in a single month. And during all this time, I felt like I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have some sort of crazy funnel. I'm not really good at sales. Personally, I don't really like sales, but what I do like and enjoy is sitting down in my room, thinking and creating systems that makes me money 24/7 without any need to do sales calls or cold outreach. So if that sounds like you and you would like to experience this yourself, in this video, I'm gonna share everything. So if you're someone who's starting out from complete scratch, you will walk away from this video knowing how to start with the tools that you already have available and how to launch your very first digital product and scale it to $10, $20, $30,000 per month. So with that being said, all I ask in return is just to drop a like on this video and let's get started. This is gonna have everything, okay? So I'm 100% aware that in some of my videos, I didn't had one missing piece, which was the perfect start for beginners, right? So in this one, I made sure to include this, how to start from scratch, right? With zero audience, zero followers, with no product, with nothing. First, I gotta start with my story. So it's going to make more sense for you and everything is going to connect better. So you can essentially use that as a reference point on where you are in your life and use that to start this type of business yourself. Okay, so my story begins between 2020, 2022. I was being an online freelancer. I was selling my time for money. So essentially I was listening to all these big guys on YouTube telling me to do web design, content creation, SMMA, right? And I was doing that. I was getting clients with cold outreach. I was using Upwork. I was using email. And essentially, I was just hustling my way. And I was thinking that is the way I'm going to become a rich, essentially, right? By selling my time for money, which is essentially never the case. You're never going to become rich through this. And the guys who are telling you to do that, most of the time, they are just doing completely the opposite thing, which is the thing I'm going to show you how to do in this video. And they're getting rich. And you are just watching them, listening to advice that is not going to work for you. So what happened is that I kept doing it and I got some results. But most importantly, I learned a skill set of, first of all, I was a web designer, so I learned how to craft and design websites that makes people convert. Secondly, I was a content creator, creating content for others, right? Not for myself, but instead I was creating content for coaches, consultants, e-com brands as well. And I was getting paid in monthly recurring payments for that. But, at a peak, I was making $2,000, $3,000 per month. And nothing's crazy. I was just like paying my bills, having some spare money for, at least to hit a gym, get some decent food and stuff. Everything changes that one time, like you can see this is the bridge between this and this life that I have right now in 2024. As you can see that the almost daily deposits of 13,000 euros, 7,000 euros total, started hitting 30, 40, $50,000 per month. As mentioned at the start of this video, had months where I was hitting $60,000. Now, it's between $30,000 and $50,000 on that average, let's say $40,000 on average per month. So I got to buy my dream car. I got to meet some amazing people like William Brown, do a podcast with him. And this happened only because of one thing. And this thing is here. Can you guess which one is it? Well, it's this one. It's me putting out myself out there on social media, essentially building my own personal brand. But more than that, saying build your own personal brand is kind of cliche. I'm going to show you how to actually go about it. But essentially building kind of like my own portfolio, my own ecosystem, and my own way of doing things, right? That is the most powerful thing you can do as in 2024 and beyond, is build your own voice in the space. That to make good money with it, you don't need to, have hundreds of thousands of followers. You just need to get started. And how easier it will be, even if you are a freelancer, to land clients if you have something like this, if you have your own personal brand, but you're creating content, but you're sharing your own personal experiences, your own work, essentially. And even when I started growing my personal brand, I still kept working as a freelancer, but my rates went significantly. I was making much more money. I was landing clients much more easier. I stopped doing freelancing gigs. And look how weird I looked back then. By the way, this is me taking a flight to Denmark to work for the summer in the construction work. This is me crying because I came back home, I think from Spain or something, and it was winter, and I had a big client project I had to finish for $1,500, and I was working 12 hours a day, and I was missing Spain, and I had no chance, no opportunity to go back there because I was broke. This is me in my green room thinking of becoming a YouTuber, and this is me becoming a YouTuber, making videos that got 50 views on FIFA gaming channel. As you can see, some people, comment under my videos and say that I'm some rich kid from Europe. Do you know any rich kid who were using Sony Vegas on old computer? Me neither, right? And what happened is that when I built this thing, I realized that, hey, the way to make money is to put my knowledge into a product people can use, get results with it, tell other people, have good experience with it, essentially productize myself, right? So that's what I did. I created a dark aesthetic preset. So this included the preset and how to use it, essentially. And then this became Instagram Creator Course, which was an in-depth program on how to grow on Instagram, how to create content for Instagram, everything I learned working with personal brands and everything I learned by growing my own brand compiled into one product. If you are smart, you can see that this product is extension of me, is extension of my own experiences. I'm not really competing with anybody else because I created something that is pure extension of me, of what I know, what I've done, and how can I help you, essentially, right? Like something that could help me, my younger self. So that's my story. And that's the reason I'm telling you this, because so you can have a better reference point to understand your own story and how you can use this digital product business model to create your own products through your experiences that you already have. You most likely have experiences. Use that as a springboard to get in this game. Even if you have to sell your time for money, because if you never done business before, I still think that selling your time for money and getting into services and freelancing is the best way to do it. Do not skip this part. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just telling you, you don't have to do this for years. You can do this for, 6 months as you growing your personal brand and developing your own digital products, essentially, right? And then we move into my first ever product, which I just talked about a little bit. So my first ever product through my personal brand was Dark Aesthetic Preset. And actually I found some stories of me promoting 12th of January 2023, right? I promoted I think that was my first ever promotion. I launched it. As you can see, my first month, I made $389. And now, I have a program called Wealthy Creator World where I essentially teach everything about this. And I have some students that come to me and they're like making $1,000 in the first launch, and they're like, what I'm doing wrong, dude? Like, why I'm only making $1,000 in my first ever launch? And I'm like, dude, my first month when I launched my digital product, I made only $389. You are crushing it, man. And this is just how I started. So this is the product. I'm still selling it right now, and my first month I made $389. And the way I came up with an idea for this product, and this is something that I teach heavily in Wealthy Creator World, is that the product framework. So we start by creating free content on, whatever. I'm going to show you how to pick a platform, and I'm going to talk about that later. We create content, we receive feedback. We start receiving some sort of feedback. And this is actually a screenshot from my own comments that I received in December, I think, 2022 when I started. This is fire. What did you use to make this? Right? So he essentially asked me what preset I used. That's how I created my product based on their feedback, because I kept receiving this message over and over again. So I created a product, right? This is the product framework. This is how you come up with a product. You don't come up with a product by thinking what would be cool for your audience. You come up with a product by analyzing what they're asking you. So if you're in the fitness niche, some people are going to ask you, hey, how do you lose weight so fast? Hey, how you done this? How you done that? You can create a specific product for that. Okay, so now we're going to move to the second product. This is how I came up with the second product, right? After people started asking me for, feedback, and after people got my aesthetic preset, essentially, right? They were like, that's cool. I can add the preset to my videos, but how do you edit the videos? How do you make your videos look the way they look? And not only that, how do you grow in it? How do you go viral? Because on Instagram, the most important thing is going viral. That's how you're gonna gain the massive amount of following. And that's how I created product number 2, which was back then called Viral Content Secrets course, right? Today's special discount, $14.95 instead of $29.95. Join today and get these bonuses. And I had few lessons, and that was the beginning of my course, which generated me $350,000 in the last 12 months. Can you believe that, guys? This little story, this little blip, this little idea I got for creating something like that. And this is how it started, just with, few lessons and a course link, a course checkout page on Gumroad. That's it. That's how it started, guys. And after I launched it in month of January and February, in these 2 months, essentially, I made $800, something like that. So as you can see, nothing's crazy. $800 is not gonna give me freedom, right? No, it's most likely not gonna give me anything, just paying my rent. But I still kept working, with freelance clients at a time, and I just really wanted to stop doing that and focus just on digital products. But I kept that as my 9-to-5 job, essentially. So now we move into something that I call unfair advantage. This is what I understood back then when I kind of started seeing some success with digital products. I realized that, hey, all these guys like Iman, the principles, the foundations are all the same. Put out content, they build a community, and they profit forever, right? And that's what I did the last 12 months. I put out content. First, I was just having one account. Then I created another account, which is more so for my educational company. Right now, I build a community and I profit. I profit and I profit and profit. Like my income 10x when I built my content business, when I built my machine of content, right? This is, and I can 100% guarantee the same happened with Iman, with everybody else. And they still gonna tell you, do cold outreach, do this, do that. But essentially, they are not doing that for a long time right now. Okay. And yes, at the beginning, you're going to have to hustle. Maybe you're going to have to, even do cold outreach to land clients, to build up cash flow as you're doing this if you don't want to get a 9-to-5 job. It totally depends on your given situation right now. That's the reason I showed you my story, because you might already have a capital. So maybe, hustling and freelancing is not ideal for you. You can start with content immediately. And again, I'm going to show you the entire structure everybody can use to begin their own brands on social media, and the framework to follow. But it totally depends on where you are in life. And this is the product flywheel, okay? This is what happened when I understand this concept. I implemented the concept into my own business, which I had at the time, that one digital product. What happened is that I created this little digital product, right? But it had enough information for people to get some results, okay? It had enough. People can get some results with it. That's the only thing, by the way, that you need to do. You don't need a fancy website. You don't need a fancy checkout. You don't need to have dark and bright mode on your website. You start with so little. So with V1, right? With MVP, minimal viable product. Your website could literally be ugly. It just needs to get results. The product needs to get results. It starts like a small seed that can grow into big garden. That's how I view it. And that's how it grew in the big garden for me. So what happened is that I have this product, people getting results with it. There are only 3 lessons and there are community access. Inside the community, people kept asking me different types of questions related to Instagram, right? Related to content creation, related to growth. And over time, I've taken that, I've taken what they ask me, commonly asked questions, I make a lesson about it. Then I think, what helped me to grow? What helps me grow? How do I do content research? And I film everything. I film how I work. I film how I create content. I film how I, essentially create content for myself. That's what I do. And then I film and record that and put that into sizable lessons so people can watch, digest, implement. That's how over time I built up Instagram Creator Course. I think at the start of June last year, a year ago, I had a pretty good product already, but I was selling it for $47. I then increased the price to $97. Then over summer, I kept improving it based on the product flywheel I just told you how it should be done. Using this flywheel effect, I improved it even more, and I started selling it for $147, for $197. At the end of the summer, I was kept selling it for $197, and when the September started, I started hitting 20K a month. October, I did I think 40K a month. Then in November, I did 60K, and these are just some of the numbers that you can see here. I increased the price to $297 and started selling it like pretty crazy, right? And I think in the Instagram course space with something that niche, I think we were definitely a top selling product for some time. And the only reason it happened is because I created a product based on the customer feedback. And the only reason I was able to do that is I bootstrapped it from very scrappy version 1. What you can learn from this as a beginner or as somebody who's trying to launch digital products is you want to launch something as fast as possible, but at the same time you want to make it so it gets results. It's not a scam, right? You don't want to, mislead people or do something wrong, but you want to make sure you can launch it fast. You can launch it fast so you can get feedback and kept improving it. And that's how over time you're going to make something phenomenal. This is the system I used, right? I'm going to quickly go through it. I'm going to explain some important things so you don't want to miss this, especially these things I'm going to show you with reels and stories. And then we're going to go into this little baby over here, which is going to be for every single one of you who never done anything and want to get started. Okay. And I totally get you guys. I was there myself. So don't worry. I'm going to show you everything you need. My system is simple. And the reason my system is simple is because I have my digital product backend already, right? So when you build up that digital product backend, I need you to understand, guys, it's not that difficult, right? It's not that difficult. All you need to do is put out content essentially and then keep improving your product. You need to just do things that makes your customers more happy and get more customers, right? That's it. That's how you grow it, right? That's essentially what you need to do. So you put people into the pipeline, into your system that you built up that I'm going to show you right now. And you make that system better and you make your product better. So for me, Instagram is my main traffic source right now. YouTube is kicking in as well, but Instagram is my main traffic source, I would say. And the content strategy goes like this for Instagram, right? It's pretty simple. So what I do is I post one reel a day and I post one promotional story a week. So the main goal is to build your brand and grow your email list at the same time, while also building your email list and sending people to your system, right? So I think there is some sort of mistake here, but essentially what you do is you're building your brand, bringing your attention machine, and you are also sending traffic to a email list and building your email list. I'm going to show you how that's done correctly. Okay. That's how I done it. I've grew up at least 100,000 people email list right now throughout all different platforms. So Reels goes along the lines like this. So some of the Reels are designed for comments. Okay. So my goal, for example, with this Reel is to get maximum amounts of comments that leave specific keyword. And then I use a software called ManyChat to send them invitation to my free product, nurturing mechanism, freebie and lead magnet. In my case, I'm going to get back to the content in a minute, okay? So in my case, 10 lesson course is my freebie, which is going to educate people about Instagram growth. I'm going to provide significant value and in that freebie, right? And I'm going to include call to action within that freebie to my main program, which at the time this recording as well is Instagram creator course, explaining everything they get with the paid program, okay? Continue nurturing them via emails with CTAs for paid programs. So after they leave your email, after they get the freebie and you have the upsell inside of it, what you do is you don't stop promoting, right? But you don't really just promote. You provide value, you provide case stories, you provide valuable emails, and then you include call to action at the end of that email for your program. And they are already educated. They already know what that paid program is about if they went through a freebie. So once you have that, right? Once you have this nurturing mechanism in place, you push traffic to this nurturing mechanism with Instagram, for example, in my case, and ManyChat. And here, right? And here how I structure my reels. So as you can see, this reel even has a call to action planted in the actual reel. So I would say there is like a top 5 tips to do to make your life better. So learn a high income skill. Dedicate at least 2 hours per day to learn a high income skill. Come in class for a free masterclass on the top skills to learn in 2024. And then I send them the invitation with ManyChat. Then we have stories. Here's one thing with stories, guys. Whenever you're posting a story like this and you want to get maximum amount of views, wait for your story on Instagram to expire. Do not have any active stories on your Instagram account before you post something like this. So you're gonna get maximum amount of views, right? And this is how the story goes. So in this one, I shared my strategy I used to, make $500,000 as a creator in the last 14 months. And then I would say, want to see a full training? Reply class below to watch right away, right? So in your case, whatever it is, whatever free product that you have, free training, free course that you have, just, do some cliffhanger and say reply. Never just direct link to it, because you're going to lose so many leads. So many leads. For example, this one, I'm hosting a free exclusive event. How I made $500,000 in the last 14 months as a content creator. Only 500 spots available. Reply event below to secure your spot. Imagine if I was just like saying, click here to secure your spot. How many leads I would have lost? Because A, Instagram is going to promote your story less if you're going to have links. And secondly, make sure you just add call to action. That's just going to make double or triple your leads. Now, one thing, guys, I put these stories right now, right, where I say, reply event to learn how I made $500,000. But when I started Instagram Creator Course, obviously I wasn't saying that. I was saying, this is how I gained 2 million. This is how I got 2 million views. This is how I get 100,000 followers, right? I sell what I've done, right? I never talk about stuff that I'd never done. I made $500,000 selling digital products. So now I talk about it, but never create something and talk about something that you never done. So that's another thing, just to clarify that. Before that, my CTAs will look different for my different freebies, right? So by that being said, people are gonna get into your nurturing mechanism. So to set up ManyChat, all you need to do is just like set up certain keywords that trigger the automation and that automation message, okay? And then people are being sent to your nurturing mechanism. It's essentially like your email, right? And they add it to an email list. An automated email begins. And this is very important, guys. Make sure that in email number 1, whatever it is that you're using, most likely you're gonna go with Gumroad, right? Make sure that email number 1, your welcome email is, and by the way, ignore this add affiliate link. You don't need to add any affiliate link. I don't know why it's there, but make sure it is something like this. In my every single email number 1 in welcome email, first of all, I re-emphasize that you can get your free training by clicking here, or whatever that free thing is that you're giving. And secondly, I give them a gift, something for free, even more. And then I ask them to do this that you see here. It's very important, because that way you're going to increase your open rates for email significantly, guys. Significantly, okay? If they add you as a contact, but you give them a reason to do that by giving them something for free, right? And then we have email number 1, email number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 and 7 being sales emails. Now, I'm not going to share these emails with you right now in this video, because that's what I do and share with my members inside Wealthy Creator World. And it would be totally unfair for me to just go over and share everything, but I'm just going to give you the framework I use, which is, in first email, after 2 days in the sequence, you set up the sequence, you want to provide value. You want to keep providing value in the second email. And after 4 days, after 6 days, after 8 days, after 10 days, you're still giving out value specifically based around your freebie, right? If it's a fitness freebie, so you provide value around that top. The 6th and 7th email is hard pitch for the program. So they already are educated about what you have to offer. So you just go for the hard pitch and you create the sequence once, and it constantly keeps sending sequences to new people who join your pipeline. And using this system that you see right now, I was able to achieve numbers like these for one of my digital products and also other digital products that I launched. Not every single one of them was that successful, but as you can see, I have some experience selling all kinds of different digital products, and I use the same system to sell all of them. Okay, so now, but that being said, let's talk about you. Okay, let's talk about you. Somebody, 0 followers, no idea how to get started, you have no product, nothing. By the way, if you don't have a product, in this video description, I left a link to a free training I've done recently where I show you how you can begin without having a product. But now in this one, I'm going to show you how to create a product from scratch, how to at least come up with an idea for the product. Okay. So step number 1 is going to be for you to pick a platform. Most likely you're going to pick Instagram, right? And I advise you to pick Instagram. It's the fastest way to grow, right, with the short form content. And then you can transition into YouTube, into Twitter. I have no experience with TikTok. Personally, I don't like it. I don't use it myself, but you can do that. You can do both. You can do Instagram and TikTok if you want to, but I think Instagram is the best, personally, at least to get started. It's the fastest way to grow your attention and audience. So step number 1, just pick a platform. And my honest advice would be, is just like pick a platform that use spend the most of your time on and the most of your consumption that you do, right? So if you're consuming a lot of content on Instagram, it's most likely it's the best way to begin because you already know what content performs well and you already have your creators selected, right? Because that's step number 2. Select 10 to 15 creators. And there's a criteria for that, right? So they are making money with digital products. Make sure they are making money with digital products. You like their content, and most important thing, you can improve what they are already doing. That's very important because just going out there and creating content like Dan Coe is not gonna cut it, right? Making the same video as he does, it's not gonna cut it. Making the same video as Andrew Kirby has a kind of body is not going to cut it, okay? You have to be able to improve what they are already doing, and I'm gonna show you how you can do that with the blue ocean strategy. But make sure you know that you can at least improve somehow. But by the way, how do you know if you can improve it? Whenever you're watching a video from your favorite creator and you have this idea that, oh, I don't really like that his intro is so long. I wish he could have just cut through the chase quicker. Guess what? Thousands of other people have the same idea, right? They think the same way. So if you can come up with something that is better, right? Maybe some same video, but shorter intro, you improved it a little bit and now you have an edge. That's how you essentially create a little bit of blue ocean for yourself. Because it's important when you start. It's very important. What you're going to do is you're going to go over after you find those 10 to 15 creators is you're gonna go over and scrape their top performing videos. Okay, so I'm gonna show you an example. So for example, on YouTube, you go and click popular and see which videos have been popular on the channel, but that's not yet it. Okay, you need to look at when they were uploaded. So it's uploaded 2 months ago. It's still fairly recent. That means what you can do is you can create something like this. So you can take an idea of his thumbnail, idea of his title, and then this video is 2 hours long. So what you can do, coming back to the topic of making it better, what if you can compress the best ideas from this video and make it in 30 minutes? What if you can take this video and say and pivot and turn it in a way where you say top 10 tips from Dan Coe to get ahead of 99% of people with deep work and monk mode, and then you compress the best ideas from this video in your own video. You make it shorter so people can watch it quicker because not every single people have a time freedom to watch 2-hour video. So you can make yourself unique by hijacking authority from Dan Coe, putting his name into your title and making the video shorter and making it better and more digestible, and people can digest it quicker. That is the way to essentially be more unique. But you find those 10 to 15 videos, you scrape them, you put them into Google Sheets, in Notion, whatever. So with Instagram would be my example. So you go to Reels and you see 63,000 views, 78,000 views, boom, 600,000 views, boom, 600,000 views almost. These and ideas that are worth taking your time and remaking them. But again, do not just copy them, right? Do not just straight up go over and say, you know, what I did in these videos and make the same videos, make them unique. But by that, I don't say, you know, change everything completely. Look what I've done in the video and think of how you can add more value, Maybe make it longer, maybe make it shorter, make it more valuable, add more stuff, or just add less stuff, right? Adding less stuff is also better sometimes. Maybe get to the point quicker. Maybe don't have such a long hook, you know? Think of how you can improve it. I'm going to show you how you can do that in a minute. But that's the trafficking, the growth part, because then we're going to create a list of 10 to 15 pieces of content in the past 30 days of those best performers. And then we're going to create our own blue ocean. By hijacking authority, I just explained you how you can do that. Use the names of big creators to create content for yourself by using their names. So I just showed you a Dan Coe example. Another example would be, taking Alex Hormozi and, making a video about top 10 business tips from Alex Hormozi, whatever. That's how you hijack authority. Or this is what Alex Hormozi thinks about short form content. I tried Alex Hormozi diet for 30 days. That's how you essentially attach a big name to yourself, to your niche, to your own subject, and you create a winning piece of content. Intro is too long, make it shorter. Video is 30 minutes, make it 60, or make it 10, right? Sometimes making longer videos is also good, right? So if somebody is, making 30-minute video and you I wish this was a little bit longer. I need more information. Make a video which has more information. Make it longer. Too long of a hook on Instagram, make it shorter. Not enough value provided for free, provide more, okay? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just need to make what's already working slightly better, okay? That's how you grow on social media. Pick a platform, find creators that you love to watch already, list those videos, create your own blue ocean over time, right? It's not going to happen overnight, but at least you have a framework on how to think about content creation. Don't just create content blindly. Have an idea what you're doing, understand what you're doing, okay? And then we go into part 2, monetization. This is the most important part. And this is why I said, make sure these guys already selling digital products. These guys that I selected here, all banking a lot of money with digital products. So they are already doing that. So that being said, create a free product and promote it with CTA strategy. So once you have some sort of growth going on your social media platform, if you picked Instagram, I don't care. I hope you picked Instagram because it's the best way to promote free products, actually. And it's the easiest one to get a lot of leads, as you can see. Only using Instagram, I grew 100,000 email subscriber newsletter, right? So create a free product and promote it with CTA strategy that I showed you, okay? That is very, very important. Very important. Do not just directly link people to a free product. Promote it with CTA strategy I showed you guys. So here's all my free products. I promote them from time to time, and all of them are directing then traffic to the step number 2, which is create a paid product, put inside an upsell inside a free product. Put that product, like the paid product, put it inside your free product as an upsell. Your product should be based on something that help you solve your own problems or can help your audience solve their problems and meet their needs. Okay, that's very important. Understand that. Once you have that set up, start feeding the free product with traffic from your socials. Literally do the reel strategy that I showed you with call to action, and do the story strategy I showed you from my strategy section with call to action as well, and just feed traffic to your free product and grow your email list. Okay. As you're doing that, promote your paid product via email, keep iterating the offer, keep updating the product, and repeat step 3 to build your list. Okay. Just keep doing this, keep promoting, and keep repeating the step number 3, right? And understand this. Okay. This is very important. Your first product won't be a winner. Most likely your second product won't be either, right? Focus on consistent iteration, listening to your audience about what they want, and over time, craft a masterpiece. If you're a beginner watching this, don't worry about part 2 right now. Start with part 1 and come back to me when you succeeded with part 1 and grew some sort of following, okay? And again, if you feel like you don't want to build your own product, watch this free training right now, just showing on the screen. It's going to show you how you can start making money without having your own product as a creator. Thank you so much for watching.